Hey YouTube, it's me, the indie comic book guy. I know a lot of you are at home right now, wishing you were at work, wishing you were out doing something fun. I know a lot of your vacation plans have changed, some people's marriage plans have changed. Now you're just at home with your kids. So, to help relieve some of that stress and tension, since many of you are comic book fans, I've come up with a quarantine playlist of comic books that I think you would enjoy. Having said that, first comic I want you to check out is called Harvest. It was published by Image Comics. This is an amazing book. If you like books like 100 Bullets or shows like Dexter or ER, any of those psychological thrillers, this is a book for you. It's about organ trafficking. And the thrust of the story is, what if you're the guy that has to go and take these organs out of some very powerful people? Like, what happens then? Plus, there's a little 6-year-old boy running around who may or may not be a drug fiend. It gets really, really good. I'm trying not to spoil what happens in this book, but definitely check Harvest out if you have not read this already. Again, it's published by It's published by Image Comics. Definitely check out Harvest. Let's see, what else do I got? Justice League, Trinity War. This was a very special book to me. Why? Because I'm not traditionally a fan of the Justice League. I grew up a Marvel Comics reader, so I would dip in and out of the DC Universe. I think lately I've been dipping more in than out. Anyhow, this book sets up a lot of thread lines with characters like Phantom Stranger, Pandora, and sadly, all the good stuff that was set up in this issue when they proceeded on beyond this crossover, that kind of fell flat. But this is still a good read, very action oriented. Get a lot of details of the Justice League Dark, which I think is another underrated title. So if you like magic and you like supernatural things and you like superheroes, Trinity of Sin is definitely the book you should read. Trinity War. I said Trinity of Sin. Trinity of Sin are in this book. But definitely check out Justice League Trinity War. You will not be sorry. Now, I mentioned this next book earlier. And despite this book, it ended years ago, a lot of people still have not read 100 Bullets. Why should you read 100 Bullets? The main thrust is, it's a guy going around with unmarked bullets, knock on your door, give you this gun, these untraceable gun, these bullets, tell you it'll kill people. Simple premise, but it's not. Agent Graves, the guy that's going around doing this, he works for this secret government organization. There's crime, there's death, there's beautiful women, there's gangsters. This book should have been a television show a long time ago. 100 Bullets is one of the best comic books ever written, and I can't say enough great things about this. If you have not read 100 Bullets, you are doing yourself a disservice. This is a great crime book. This is like a blueprint of how crime and thriller television shows, movies, whatever, should be written. All right here within 100 Bullets. Again, you have crime, you have girls, you have gangsters, you have government agencies gone rogue. You have it all right here. You will love this. Speaking of love, and I do love a lot of things, including the wicked and the divine. I think I got that upside down. Got it backwards. Yes, the wicked and the divine. I should do them all like that. The wicked and the divine. What can you say that hasn't been said enough about this book? You have gods that are reborn. that are now pop stars, and you have mystery, you have romance, you have all of that good stuff right here. And the wicked and the divine. That sounds like a commercial. But really, this is one of my favorite books. It should be on everyone's playlist. And again, I'm doing this quarantine playlist because I think there's a lot of books out there that you may not have read. And I'll be interested in seeing in the comments your own playlist. The Wicked and Divine is one of those books that your girlfriend will love. People of mythology will love. People who aren't into comics, they will love The Wicked and the Divine because it brings that back, that old DC Vertigo feel when growing up in high school, in high school, I was kind of, like ashamed because I was getting judged and bullied for reading comics. But if you had a Vertigo book, you had something like Sandman, people were like, oh, well, that's not a comic book, that's cool. Those Vertigo books at that time had a different mystique about them, where people looked at them more as art and not as, oh, you're reading a guy in spandex punching another guy in spandex, or you're cool. If you love old school Vertigo, this is the book for you. What else do we got? Why the Last Man? I love this book. This is every man's dream and nightmare rolled up into one, because what happens when you are the last man on earth? Everybody's coming after you. That's what happens when you're the last man on earth. Very good read. A lot of great characterization. A lot of great world building was put into this book. So definitely read it if you have not had a chance. You owe it to yourself to read Why the Last Man. Morning Glories. There's a lot of comic books about kids in high school, but this is the one you should read. The teachers and the faculty are just killing students, killing your parents. You don't know why. I read all 50 issues and I still don't know everything that was going on in this book. But it's so intriguing you can't stop reading it. You didn't even know that the kids had superpowers until midway through the series. They didn't even know. Well, some of them. But it's a big mystery. Are these kids gods? Are they angels? Are they just government experiments? I don't know. But that's the fun of this book. Morning Glories will get you hooked. So definitely check that out if you haven't. This is the book that I cannot get enough of. I was sad when it ended. I'm proud when I see an independent comic book like Invincible go for over 100 issues, because by that time it's created this mythos that can rival some Marvel and DC books. This had multiple spin-offs. I heard there's a movie in the works, a video game. Invincible shows the potential of what an independent comic book can be if said creator sticks with their property and develops it. It gets better with each issue, and I can't recommend it enough. If you're looking for an independent comic book that has grit, this is your book. Now to throw a couple curveballs on you. Bam! Noble Causes. There are still some people that want the soap opera stuff more than the action and the drama. This is what happens when you marry into a superhero family. You're going to get the soap opera. This is one of those early Image books that a lot of people overlooked. But I'm telling you, if you want the soap opera stuff, Noble Causes is the book for you. It's that simple. Hope y'all are enjoying this playlist, because I went through hundreds and hundreds of comic books. And I was like, hey, what would people like? What would be a good quarantine playlist? So I hope you're enjoying this list, and I am very interested in seeing your list. Bam! Incorruptible. This is what happens when a supervillain is like, you know what? This Superman-like character is kind of going a little cuckoo, kind of killing a couple people. Maybe I have to stop him. So, this is what happens when the bad guy has to stop the good guy from doing very, very bad things. Definitely check it out if you have not. What do we have next? I feel like we need something. This list is missing something. It's missing something green. It's missing something Jack Kirby-ish. What is this list missing? Bam! There it is. Green Lantern and the New Gods. Godhead. This book made me fall in love with the New Gods all over again. They are one of my favorite Jack Kirby creations, and they don't get enough spotlight. They definitely don't. So, and I think that's partly why I like them, because people haven't had a chance to ruin these characters. So if you like Green Lantern, if you like New Gods, Godhead is the book for you. Can't recommend that enough. Wait, there's more. I'm going to throw these in here as honorable mentions. They didn't quite make the playlist, but if you can't find some of these other books, these are good substitutes. The Authority. This is what happens when superheroes want to rule the world. Great book, always a great read. Earth to Society. This is one of my favorite takes on the Justice Society. Definitely a good book. I can't recommend it enough. Wanted. Who doesn't like this book? And I'm one of the people that love the movie. I know some people hated it, but this is where it started. This is where the main character looked like Eminem. The other character looked like Halle Berry. This is where it started. You wake up one day, you're pretty much a loser. Find out your dad was a supervillain. You get recruited into his organization, and things happen. People get killed. All right here. Uncanny X-Force. This was a good book. I know people are enjoying the current X-Force run, and it makes you wonder, have there ever been a bad X-Force run? Yeah, when Rob Liefeld wrote it. No. At the time, we loved that. You know you did. You bought it. You still have issue number 1 wrapped up. So, there we have it. My quarantine comic book playlist. Again, I want to see what you come up with. What books should have made this list but didn't make the cut? What books would you recommend that other people read? I want to see your quarantine comic book playlist. As always, I'm the Indie Comic Book Guy. One love, peace twice.